Welcome back to my kitchen. And today in my kitchen we're going to make a root beer float pie. Never made it before, so this is going to be interesting. So let's turn around and see what we need for this recipe. Alright, for this recipe we are going to need 3/4 of a cup of root beer, any root beer that you prefer. We need half a cup of half and half or whole milk. You need 2 tablespoons of a root beer concentrate. I had to order this off of Walmart.com. You need 1 3/4 a box of vanilla pudding. You need 1 container of Cool Whip 8 ounce. And then you need 1 ready graham cracker crust. And then for the garnish, as they said is recommended, is 1 cup of heavy whipping cream, 1/4 of a cup of powdered sugar, and 1/4, well, it doesn't say how many of these. It just says the Mancheri cherries, I don't know. Just the good cherries, I guess. But this is everything we're going to need. And then this bowl, we are going to add the 3/4 of a cup of the root beer, the half a cup of milk, and the 2 tablespoons of the root beer concentrate. So I'm going to put you back up on the tripod and we're going to get started. Alright, in this bowl, we're going to add the 3/4 of a cup of the root beer. Then we need half a cup of the half and half. Pour that in with the root beer. And you need some of the concentrate, which I wouldn't think you would need. It does say 2 tablespoons. I'm just going to do shy of 2 tablespoons because this stuff was not cheap. So now you're going to sprinkle your pudding mixture over it. Then you're going to give it a mix for about 1 to 2 minutes, and then you're going to let it sit for 5 minutes. Alright, we're going to let this sit for 5 minutes. I mean, it don't look very appetizing, but we'll see what it tastes like. So after the 5 minutes, we'll be back to put this tub in here. Alright, the timer went off. Now we're going to put this whole tub in here. And then we're going to put this in the freezer for at least 8 hours or overnight. So I didn't read this recipe, which I should have. Then I could have had this started this morning. It's almost 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So I'm going to just keep folding this in. And Cool Whip's a little still frozen. So I'll be back when I get this all mixed in. All right, now we're going to take and pour it into the crust. Move this all around. Just like so. And then we just put the lid on. And we're going to put it in the freezer for 8 hours, or until I feel that it's good enough to finish it. So then I'll just set it in my fridge. So I'll return in 8 hours or so. Alright, in this bowl I got 1 cup of the heavy whipping cream with the 1/4 cup of the powdered sugar. And now we're just going to whisk this until it comes to stiff peaks. Alright, here's the pie. It's been in the freezer for hours. Now we're going to add the whipped topping to the top. You could do this individually, but I feel it's going to be easier just to put it all on top. And you're going to put this back in the freezer. Well, you're supposed to put this on the top and then put the lid on top, but I don't know if it's going to fit with the lid. So then you're to take your cherries, fork. And then you're just going to put them all around, and I'll be back when I have that done. Alright, I have all the cherries on top. Now I'm going to stick this in the freezer and let it get firm, and then I'll be back to let you know what me and my husband thought of it. Alright, I come back to let you know what me and my husband thought of the root beer float pie. First night, because it wasn't quite set up yet, it had a strong root beer taste, and it bothered my husband there for a bit. Well, the next night it was completely frozen, so it had a more mellow taste of the root beer. I didn't use quite as much of the concentrate as it said to, because one, I've never used it, so I didn't want to overpower it. So it was just enough. It was very good, different, but good. So I hope you enjoy this recipe and you try it out. And I will see you all on the next one. But if you can leave a comment, give it a share, give it a like, and I will see you all in the next one.